G'day folks, here's part 2 of my February collection update. G'day folks, Jeff here, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of my February collection update. This is all the CDs and assorted other items. In here you'll find some death metal, some more death metal, some black metal, and a bit of grind as well. So anyway, let's get into it. Alright, the first batch are 4 CDs I got from Dismal Fate Records. It's an Italian label. I actually got it through their Discogs for some reason. I don't know, maybe postage was cheaper or maybe I didn't realise they had a website. At any rate, first up we have Trollcave with their, sorry I got to read this, Malforming Abominations of the Gloom Depths. So this is their demo, I think. So yeah, this is Spanish Death Doom. Much like sort of Disembowelment or Evoken sort of style. Sometimes it gets to like Funeral Doom kind of levels, but it does have some pretty fast bits as well. But it's mostly slow and punishing. So, and yeah, this is I now have a lot of Trollcave. I think I've got all the collection so far, so looking forward to more from them. But yeah, this is 3 songs. I really like. I think it's the second song. It's just got this killer like slow D beat. Just sounds super tough. Kind of reminds me of Coffins a bit. Track 3, and they're all just called 1, 2, and 3. Track 3 has got brings out the mellow disembowelment clean guitar sort of thing with the massive doom underneath, which of course it's going to roll. Vocals are just like abyss deep. They're nasty as hell. There's some crazy sort of screams as well. And it's not coming out. Tough luck. Sound on this is pretty murky, much like their other ones, really. They certainly ain't clean and nice production, but it does kind of suit it, to tell the truth. I think this is before they got their vocalist, Carlos, who joined for the album. So this is just Mark, who's the everywhere man of Spanish Death Doom and the like. He's also in Sanctuarium and was in Jade and gets around. So yeah, he sings on this as well as drums. The guitars are by Marta, so yeah, does a bloody good job on this. So honestly, the album and the EP that just came out last year are probably a bit better than this, but it's still friggin' pretty bloody killer, I gotta say. So yeah, I'm happy to complete the old Trollcave collection for the moment. So, but yeah, I'd highly recommend this band if you like any death doomy sort of stuff, because they go quite alright. Also from Dismal Fate is Perishing with their Lutum EP. This came out on Morbid Chapel Records. This is Death Doom, like, who would guess, from Costa Rica. So this has got like members of Vestiferous and Necroferum. And I've got to check out more of that Necroferum band. They just put out an EP that I'll have to track down. But yeah, I like this quite a lot. It's only 4 songs, but 4 longish sort of songs. Just nice, not too polished sort of sound. There's a ghastly sort of dry croaking but kind of deep vocals that very bloody effective with the crawling sort of Death Doom style. There's a nice swaggering sort of riff speed ups, just work really well on this. I love it. I think it's the last song, Nefarious Acquiescence, has just got some nice sort of eerie Fin Death sort of style, lead lines running through it, plus a pretty bloody furious solo. So I'll show you the inside. Liking the band photo, we got a couple of groin protectors, milk crates, and a rarely seen hands behind the back. Got to come up with a good name for that one. Maybe hands down your dacks. So yeah, quite enjoying this. I'm definitely keen for an album of these guys. Hoping there's one in the future. This only came out like last year, I think, so pretty newish. So glad I tracked this one down. While grabbing stuff from Dismal Fate, I thought, I'll chuck this one in as well. This is Chthonic Deity with their Reassembled in Pain +2 compilation. So yeah, this is a death metal band from, I don't know, Colorado or California, one or both. Yeah, on this you get their Reassembled in Pain demo, which is 4 songs, and 2 songs from their Chthonic Magic, which is a split with Rune Magic that they did. So yeah, this has got Erica from Skolex and Necrosic on bass and vocals, plus Paul from Blood Incantation, and yeah, they're married now, so partner band. Yeah, he's playing guitar and some vocals as well. Plus, it's got another everywhere man, Charlie Corrin from Ascended Dead and Funebarum and Decrepacy and Incantation and Morbid Angel Live, and yeah, he gets around that chap. So, yeah, he's on drums. So it seems to be Erica's band because she wrote all the music, all the lyrics as well. So it's pretty straight sort of death metal sort of style. Bit of Autopsy, bit of kind of, modern day West Coast death metal sort of style. Oh, US death metal, that is. Honestly, it doesn't sound like Blood Incantation in the slightest, other than maybe his vocals occasionally, unsurprisingly, sound like him because they're him. I really like this, actually. I really like I think the demos, it's newer than the split tracks and sounds a lot better, actually. But just the songwriting's a bit better, I think. I don't know if these guys are still going. This is from like 20... actually, no, sorry. The demo's from earlier. Demo's from 2015. The split's from 2019. So, yeah, they don't seem to have done anything since, I don't think. So, but yeah, I really like the punky feel to Disintegrating Organs. I think it's Blood Rituals, probably my favourite song on here. It's just got this nice mid-paced groove to it. I really quite enjoy it. Of the tracks from the split, they seem a bit slow. I don't know if it was just a dedication to Rune Magic or pretty bloody slow, but I think it's Galaxies of Perpetual Internment. It's mostly slow and doomy, but it does have some speed ups here and there. But yeah, it's pretty tough. So as I said, first four songs are probably my preferred ones, but yeah, just some killer US death metal. Can't go wrong. And as usual with Discogs, I was, adding bits and pieces to see if I keep the postage at a reasonable rate. So I chucked this one in. This is one that my UK VC mates had talked up heaps, and I'd seen footage of them from the Dead of Winter Fest. So this is Grave Ghoul with their Living Dead Flesh. It's actually a compilation of two EPs, the Living Burial Ground and the House of Dead Flesh, plus a couple of covers chucked in. So this is one-man death metal band from England. The Bandcamp, as it says on there, it's for fans of Mortician, Necrophagia, Impetigo and Autopsy. So, yeah, all damn fine influences for me. So they do have that, but it's not super derivative, I've got to say. It's still got its own sort of sound. Really killer artwork and, very horror themed, as you could tell. And on the inside, it even has, slightly naughty probably pictures from stills from horror movies and the like. So recognise a couple of those ones. So, yeah, definitely recognise one of them. So yeah, it's songs about horror movies. Ain't rewriting the book at all, but it's bloody killer stuff. It's just catchy as hell. That's the thing that I kind of took away from this. Just groovy, catchy sort of stuff. I think it's what is it? A Puzzle of Body Parts is one of my favourite ones. It's got great groove running through it. I mean, this is one man band. You can tell it's a drum machine, mostly on the sort of rolls and stuff, but it's really not that noticeable and doesn't sort of spoil it for you at all. And they've got some... the covers are fairly obvious. It's a Mortician cover of Cremated/Incinerated. They do Disorganized, which is still one of my favourite Impetigo songs. And Twisted Massive Burnt Decay by Autopsy, so can't go too wrong there. And the solo that he does on the Autopsy cover is bloody killer. It sounds great. And I think it's... what is it? Living Burial Ground itself is a pretty doomy sort of crusher as well, which sort of nicely stands out and distinguishes it from the rest of it. Most of it's just mid-paced death metal-y sort of stuff, but yeah, I'm really quite impressed by this. I don't know if I need any of the other stuff, but seeing I now have the two EPs on this, but I believe he's recording an album at the moment, so very much looking forward to that. So yeah, good work, UK fellas, for plugging these guys. Very happy with this. And nice people that Dismal Fate threw in some stickers as well. There's a Grave Ghoul sticker, a Tenebro sticker, a couple of Mortuary Ghoul ones, and a flyer of Grummo, I believe. And on the back is the Tenebro Mortuary Ghoul de la Morte tape that I got last month or whenever that was. So yeah, excellent. I highly recommend. And there'll be links below to the band's Bandcamps and also the Dismal Fate and all the other record labels or whatever I got this from. So check them out. All right, up next to one of my favourite Japanese bands. They're bit special, you could say. This is Gorbon Necropsy with their live 2001 and unreleased shits. And this is how it comes. This is the bag it comes in with the tracks on the back. This is on Meatbox, which I think is their own label, possibly. So you get a CD, which I'll leave out because it's a brick to get it in and out. And it also comes with like a little booklety thing, the usual mega collage of God knows what's going on, and some quality artwork from Wu Yung. So yeah, this is they're a special sort of band, old Gorbon Necropsy. They started as a kind of, I wouldn't even say carcassy sounding, maybe more Impetigo sounding. For a while they had a drum machine as well and played some slower bits, but after a time they got a drummer and just, yeah, they're chaos now. Pure grinding chaos. It's beautiful. So yeah, most of their music is sort of like a hint of a song or a riff for, maybe 10 seconds if you're lucky, and then just noise chaos and blasting and growling and actual noise, because I think Hironori, who was a guitarist in the early days, took over on noise for now, and I think I've seen footage of him, and I don't know, he's got some device in his hand that he waves around or smacks, or I don't know. Certainly adds to the rawness, that's for sure. But honestly, the live tracks on here, it sounded better than I expected. There is that what is that triple shock one? I'll put the cover of it up. It's a split with Arse Destroyer, and who's the third one? Anyway, yeah, that's raw as hell. I think the split, the Gorbon split with Nunhor Commando is pretty raw as well. I think this is actually not too bad. You can almost make stuff out. So the both seem to be, there's two sets basically from 2001 plus 15 odd unreleased tracks. So it's around mostly songs off Noise A Go-Go, their first album, and sort of EPs around that era. So the unreleased tracks, there's 15 of them. They're pretty short. I mean, this is a band that half the time their songs are like 9 seconds long, or, there's occasionally of the unreleased stuff, there is one song over a minute, which is a minute 3. It's song Arse Destroyed, which is kind of slow and unsurprisingly noisy as hell. They're recorded at what I've always assumed is their own studio, Harshit Disgraceland. Always love that. They're a special kind of band, these guys. Albums themed about shit and all sorts of stuff going on. So let's see if there's some interesting song titles from the unreleased stuff. Oh, Electric Pink Shit. Fecal Rocket Rollin'. Anyway. The second live set is pretty damn raw, I gotta say, and very noisy. It does have the song Fecal Gorgor Attack, which is always a fave. We used to play that on the radio. Back in the radio days, we used to play, about 8 Gorbon songs in a row, because it really didn't go for very long. The longer parts were usually the Divine samples that they used. So, but of the live ones, there are more songs on the second set, including, I think the last song's got, what's his name, Fumio from Incapacitants on guest vocals. Gets even noisier, unsurprisingly. The usual title these guys give themselves is Anal Drilling Harshitcore. It's pretty perfect description, I think, for those guys. So one day I'll show off my Gorbon collection. I've got most of their stuff now, except for like a couple of early tapes that I really don't know if I'm ever going to get them, to tell the truth. They'll probably, they're like 35 years old or whatever, and not the easiest to come by, I'd say. So maybe one day, maybe I'll just show it off early. But yeah, ridiculous band, but so much fun. So I'm pretty happy to get this. This one I actually grabbed because it wasn't cheap, I gotta say, but due to you poor bastards having to put up with all the ads that I put in this, I try not to put too many ads in these, but I do get a slight bit of money from YouTube sort of thing, or AdSense, whatever. So I like to spend it on expensive stuff that I wouldn't normally pay that much on it. So this is one of them, I think. So I think I've got another $100 coming soon. Ooh, I can retire. So I don't know what I'll spend that one on. Maybe I'll finally get that bloody Incubus record, but we'll see. At any rate, Gorbon, great stuff. I love them so much. All right, up next are a couple I got from a newish record label in Australia called Charnel Sanctum. It's run by Carl from Fall of Nature and Verminous Recordings. He's started up a new label, and one of the first releases is this. This is From the Dark with The Last Days of the Sun. This is a New Zealand black metal band. This is their demo from 1997, repressed obviously because I think the original was on tape. Now, I don't think I had a copy of that. I used to trade with a guy from New Zealand who, he called himself Vim Fuego. I can't remember what his real name was. He did send me a couple of tapes, so it may well have this on it, but yeah, I don't remember this at all. To tell the truth, if it was on there. Yeah, this is black metal, definite influence of sort of very early Emperor, like, kind of demo, possibly first album one with a whole lot less keyboards, that's for sure. Yeah, I think you can kind of tell that they played a bit of death metal beforehand, because there's some sort of chunky, heavy riffage in it and some growly vocals as well at times, but most of it's just yappy, raspy vocals that really give it some aggression. I like it. I think, what is it? Kingdom of Souls is probably, it's just got this raw, unhinged, wild sort of feel to it that I really like. It's pretty bloody killer, actually. It's only, you get 6 songs. Band looking grim, very good work. Yeah, they did also do a 1998 album, In the Shadow of Chaos, which was self-released, so I'm hoping maybe that might get that Charnel Sanctum reissue treatment. I'm pretty sure I did see these guys. This is a flyer from gig in Canberra, the good old Rock Ape, and this is from 2000. I think I went to this gig. There's Rock Ape gigs are a little blurry over the years, that's for sure, due to various different substances. I think I remember seeing Midral there, but maybe that was a different gig. I have seen Atomizer a heap of times, so yeah, it's a bit blurry there. So I might have gone to this gig. If not, oh well. But even if I went to it, I don't remember From the Dark in the slightest, so I was probably at home anyway. So yeah, I really quite enjoyed this. So I think the link I've got is to their like SoundCloud, which looks to have the album as well. So I'll check that out because it's pretty damn promising. Just pretty straight Norwegian-y sounding black metal from 1997. So that's what you're going to get. But yeah, it has a wildness to it that I quite enjoy. So yeah, good work, Carl. All right, also from Charnel Sanctum, and in a pack that came with From the Dark as well was Unholy Sacrament with their Profane Apotheosis. This is a Dutch band that have been around since 2017. I don't know if they're still going because they haven't trying them out. This is a compilation of 2 demos. Well, sort of. It's like one demo and a raw version of that demo from 2018, which seems to be their total output so far. So this is Black Death sort of stuff, really boomy, noisy sort of sound. Wouldn't quite put this in the raw black metal sort of pocket, but it's not that far off really. No guitars listed at all, so it's just bass, which explains the huge bottom end of the sound. I really love the eerie sort of keyboards that they use, especially on, I think it's Overwhelming Dominance. Just, yeah, sounds great. And they're even more prominent on, Mosh Inversion. It just had heaps of atmosphere. The vocals on this, pretty bloody killer. They're mostly sort of deep, growly, but some snarls as well. Really echoey sort of effect that works really well. I prefer it when this band goes slow, because when they go too fast, the drums just get lost pretty much. So the slow bits are a bit more effective for me. So you get, 6 tracks, but then you get the Shaitanium or something or other sessions, which is an advanced demo of the demo, which, yeah, sounds a lot more demo and raw sounding. So, yeah, that's not amazing. But the main proper demo, it's pretty bloody killer, I gotta say. So I think the write-up says, for fans of the Abruptum demo, yeah, pretty close. Titan Blood demo, early Demon Seed, early Imprecation, but I'd probably add Profanatica in there as well. So, yeah, that's what you're going to get with this. There's only like 100 of these, so yeah, it might not be the easiest getting it, to tell the truth, but glad I got one. And I will say thanks to Carl as well, because he did actually send the Mendicant Media Facebook page a message saying, oh, I'd like to send them to you, but in the end I just bought them anyway because, yeah, I can afford it. I don't really need. So, yeah, nice little flyer that came with it, and another little flyer for various bits and pieces, and a page that appears to be out of Lovecraft book. There's a lot of gods being read out with way too many letters in their names, including Azagthoth and Marduk and Tiamat and Kingu and all sorts of stuff going on there. So yeah, that's a bit special. But anyway, thanks, mate. Oh yeah, and thanks again to Carl. He threw in a freebie for me, which I was much appreciated. This is a band Tomb with their Total Occultic Mechanical Blasphemy 2 compilation. So yeah, this is a Pennsylvanian black noise kind of band. The write-up says, Tomb has continuously crossed the boundaries of extreme music by crafting together elements of dark ambient, doom, death industrial, and power electronics into a unique style of terrifying black metal noise. Yeah, that's pretty spot on, I reckon. So this is early demos from 2004, 2005, sort of compiled, plus some unreleased stuff. This actually came out on his Fall of Nature records, so he had a couple left over, so much appreciated. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of pure noise, like without drums or guitars or anything. It's not quite my thing, I gotta say, but if it's mixed in with other music, I kind of like it a lot, actually. I really like the industrial sort of feel of, I think it's Omnipotent Slaughter on this. Honestly, the first demo on this, the Black Crypt Worship, I like quite a bit better. The second one's kind of noisy, but it's just not as sinister sounding. With these guys, I did listen to a couple of the newer songs. They got a heap of releases. Their Bandcamp will be below, so check them out. But the newer stuff just sounded like normal black metal, less weird industrial noise. It was almost normal. I think they had like Hellhammer on drums for one of their albums. So I'm kind of curious to know what the middle period of these guys sounds like. So if you know anything about them, feel free to comment below. But yeah, I was quite happy to get this one because, yeah, that, as I said, that first demo, what is it, Black Crypt Worship? Yeah, I like that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think there probably are a lot more black noise bands out that I don't really know much about. What is it? Black Massive Absu. I like that band. So, yeah, thanks. I appreciate the freebie for this and definitely appreciate the old Lovecraft page ripped out of a book. I love it. All right, up next is a weird one that you probably saw on my thumbnail. It's a Vault Deprogrammer with their Abort, Retry, Fail. This came out on Sweat Lung, which is Pete's label. So yeah, this is very crazy noisecore from Melbourne. This is a couple of likely lads from Whitehorse and Pathetic Human and a lot of other bands. So yeah, this is a whole 2 minutes of music, I've got to say. As far as the music goes, it's pretty damn noisy for noisecore, let's put it that way. So it's just insane weirdness going on. There'll be a link below to it, so definitely check them out. As I said, it's a whole 2 minutes. It's not going to take you long. So what you get with this all came in a plastic bag with this sort of label up the top, make it look all official and the like. So in it you get this flattened brain to recycle sticker. What else? Oh, and you get this disc which does have like an Obi strip kind of thing on it with instructions, and it's got the QR code there. I think will take you to their Bandcamp. It does actually have the CD, so I don't know if you can see that. It's on like one of those business cardy sort of things with a bit of stuff. I've no idea what's on, if there's anything on this disc. Probably not. I can't say I've actually listened to this yet because I still don't have a CD player that has, a thing sticking up from it. So, and also has Bandcamp link on the back. So, how could I go past such ridiculous packaging? And I'll show you their previous ones that you may recognise as they're split with Body Melt, I think, which also comes in it's like business card sized CD. And Kebab sticker. This is another one of them with a split with various other bands. It also comes in a gigantic CD for these guys. So yeah, silly stuff, but I like 2 minutes of noisecore. I think is more than enough. Sometimes I've bought compilations of it and I was like, I really don't want to listen to 54 minutes of noisecore particularly, but 2 minutes, very good. So yeah, I obviously got completely suckered by ridiculous packaging because I mean, how could you not buy something that looks like that? So yeah, I'm an idiot, but it's great music. Who cares? All right, next up are the rest of the stuff I got from Headsplit Records. I got the Mephitic Corpse LP, which I showed off last video, but also got this. This is Pus Emulsion with their Ensoaking Cerebral Torture EP, I suppose. It's only 4 songs, so this is a more death grind from California, from a Atascadero, which isn't too far from St. Louis Obispo, so there's something in the water up there. Something rather green, possibly, I think, but so this doesn't appear to have any Mephitic Corpse or Necropsy Oda members, but it does have members of Corpse Thrower, which not a band I'm familiar with, but I love that name, so I'll definitely be checking them out, I think. So yeah, this is brutal death metal sort of end of the death grind spectrum, I'd say. So there's lots of chuggy sort of bits, pretty groovy, brutal sort of stuff, quick blasting sort of changes. I really love the chunky riffing on, I think it's Sleep Depravity. Plus, when the bass breaks through, it sounds pretty cool, I think. Really deep vocals that are nicely sort of drawn out. I love long vocals. Plus, some really nice gurgles on the last song. I think it's Splintered Crucifixion. I don't think it's particularly pitch shifted, except maybe those bits. But, yeah, really fun little EP. It's only 4 songs, so it's pretty brief. It's, like maybe 12 minutes if you're lucky. But yeah, just killer death grindy sort of stuff, bit brutal. So yeah, happy with this one. So this is another Headsplit Records issue. So good work, Disgustor. Love your work. All right, and last from Headsplit is Pathologist with their grinding opus of forensic medical problems. This is a reissue of this Czechia gore grind band. This is their second album that originally came out on Mab Records, but this is reissued by Extremely Rotten Productions and P2 as well. So a bit of Paulo action there. Some reason, so yeah, I do not have the original stuff by any means. It's probably not that easy to come by, but yeah, this is pretty legendary gore grind sort of stuff. Very early sort of days. For some reason, the other reissues were sped up. Don't know if it was to fit on a CD, but this is like half an hour long or something. So I don't know what the hell. I think it was possibly to fit the 2 albums that these guys put out on one CD, possibly. But anyway, so yeah, it's thankfully this is the proper version. This is I think it's a remastered version of the original CD. So unfortunately, this is their first album, or a compilation that includes their first album. This is also their first album, both of which are the sped up shit versions. So yeah, thankfully, is it Headsplit or is it Extremely Rotten? No, Extremely Rotten and P2 have also reissued the first album on CD, so I'll be tracking that one down quick smart, I think, because this is some killer stuff. Unsurprisingly, it sounds a bit like Carcass, sort of symphonies and era, bit of reek. Pretty damn speedy gore grind, all pitch shifted vocals, killer bloody groove on, what is it, Putrescence, I think, and I think it's Cadavers in Medical Jurisprudence. Kind of sounds like that early 2000s groovy gore grind sort of sound that I did in my gore grind video earlier on. So they're not a blatant Carcass clone, although, what is it? Uterogestation to Abortion has the classic Bill Steer sort of squiggly guitar sort of bits. It's beautiful. I really love the slow intro to, what is it, Exhumed Dead Body. Just deep growls. It just absolutely rules. This is a killer bloody album. Even a smidge of necroticism sneaking in on the last song, Secretion of Ejaculate. It's a bit classy, you could say. I got to admit, I prefer this album to the slightly murkier, more dense first album, which is still bloody rules, don't get me wrong, but this is just better, I think. So very happy to pick this one up. I think the guitarist Harry's now in Sick Sinus Syndrome, so continuing on the Carcass love there. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this one. Sorry, I should have been showing off the CD and the like. Yeah, just killer Czechia gore grind stuff. It's beautiful. And I will thank Dylan as well for throwing in issue 50 of the old Headsplit newsletter, which comes with a poster of Aberration and Mephitic Corpse. So yeah, this is a little killer little fanzine that Dylan does for Headsplit. Cool little interviews. This one's got Mephitic Corpse and Bad Omen and Aberration. I haven't read that one yet. So it's always amusing his the style that he does. It's really killer stuff. And I will also point out, I forgot to show off the quality stickers that Pete threw in for the previous. God, what are they bloody called? I've forgotten the name already. Vault Deprogrammer. So I got a White Horse sticker, I got a Vault Deprogrammer sticker, and a good old Sweat Lung. And lastly, I got a T-shirt off old mate Kalle from Sweden, who puts on this gig. So I figure I'll give him a little promotion. This is Åland Rots, which he puts in like a barn or something in his backyard. I think it looks pretty cool. It's I'll put the proper picture of it up so I don't have to hold it up. So yeah, killer death grindy sort of festival in Åland, 30th and 31st of May 2025. So, and you'll get quality artists like Pulmonary Fibrosis, Galvanizer, Cadaveric Incubator, Vomit Rot, Cryptorium, Celestial Scourge, Chaotian. Ooh, yeah, I could handle that. Sequestrum as well. More Danish stuff. Filthkin and good old Cranial Sludge. Don't know them, but I think I want to know them based on that name. So yeah, thanks for throwing those in, and thanks for the quality Gorbon shirt. So yeah, I think that's the lot for this time. I'm not sure what my next video will be. I do want to get back into doing the underrated Aussie metal bands that most people might not have heard of. So because I kind of enjoy those ones. So. But yeah, I got to start listening to all the shit that's arrived in March now. So anyway, but yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.